Hello, good evening and welcome to Upfront. My name is Raymond Alqua. Now, minority members on the Health Committee in Parliament are pushing the frontiers of their oversight responsibility as they embark on a fact-finding mission to inspect abandoned hospital projects across the country. Tonight on Upfront, their findings and the response from the Ghana Health Service is the crux of our engagement today. You welcome back. This is Upfront. My name is Raymond Alqua. My guest today is the ranking member, as in the minority spokesperson on the Parliamentary Select Committee of Health. He is also a former Deputy Lands and Natural Resources Minister, and currently he sits in Parliament as the representative for the people of Joaboso. The Honorable Kwabena Mintah Akandoh, you're welcome.
Thank you, Raymond.
I hope you are doing well, sir.
By God's grace.
Now, is it what you guys do all the time, or this is a propaganda stunt?
Well, I don't know what you mean by propaganda stunts, but as a member of Parliament, okay, as you have rightly indicated, we are supposed to play an oversight role over the executive.
Yeah.
And so whatever will help me to get my facts right, whatever will help me to be well informed in order for me to perform my responsibility as a member of Parliament is what we are doing.
Have you done this before?
Yes.
When was the last time you did this?
Well, as a health committee or as members of Parliament?
As a health committee?
Well, I have been on this committee barely 3 to 4 months ago.
You don't know the history of the committee?
Well, it's been, as for trips upon trips, inspections upon inspections, every committee has been doing it. Was
this particular trip under the committee leadership, or this is just a minority side decided?
I'm a leader on the committee.
Yes, but you are not the chairman of the committee.
No, I'm not. That's why I'm saying
is the chairman aware of this particular?
Well, if you ask awareness, he's aware.
Is the chairman, did he give this blessing to this particular business?
We don't need his blessings.
So this is the minority people on the committee.
Exactly, embarking on this trip.
Pursuing this particular agenda.
Exactly.
What's the idea behind this particular pursuit?
Well, we have heard a lot about the state of abandonment in the country, especially with regards to the health facilities.
You've heard a lot?
We've heard a lot.
Since
when? Since 2017.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
Prior to 2017, there were none like that?
Well, not that I heard of.
Oh, you did not know of any of them?
Don't confuse the issues. We are talking about health facilities. And let's differentiate.
I'm not disputing the facilities you are talking about. All that I'm trying to ask you is whether or not prior to 2017,
not that I heard of. Not that I heard.
You didn't know of any facility across the country.
And you see, when you are given a responsibility to perform, you open your eyes within that jurisdiction. You find out whatever is happening there. Probably because I was not the ranking member. Okay. I didn't bother to find out.
Were you on this committee of health?
No.
Okay. Now let me also get this clarified. So all of you, the minority guys on the committee, said we are going to check out the facilities for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And what were your specific findings? Where did you go first?
Well, so as I indicated, we took off. We started from the Ashanti region. Oh, okay. And we went to Kumawu. Mm-hmm. We went to Palace to greet the chiefs and all that, and we proceeded to the site. My brother, if you were part of the entourage, what word do I have to use? You'll be shocked. It was disheartening, and I think it is wickedness. We got to the site and we realized that the project was about 65% complete. Some aspect of the project has been completed. That is, the accommodation for the health workers has been completed. We saw that during the dry season, some of the materials for the construction got burnt, and weeds have taken over entirely. There was no security person at site. There was absolutely nobody at site. Meanwhile, within the catchment area, there's no proper health facility.
Is it Kumawu District Hospital?
Yes, Kumawu. I'm talking about Kumawu District Hospital. Okay. Then from there, we proceeded to Formina, Adanse Formina Hospital. When we got there, Adanse Formina Hospital is also almost 85 to 90% complete with installation of equipment. That one too has been taken over by weeds, and some part, the outside portion of the ceiling got bent. And as I speak to you now, if we have to go back and start work, you need more money than you could have used before 2016 or 2017. From there, we proceeded to Tepa. When we got to Tepa, we realized that...
Still in the Ashanti region.
Still in the Ashanti region. We got to Tepa. We realized that we spoke to the consultant and he told us, before 2016, or during 2016, they had achieved about 80% completion. And the installation of equipment was about 92% complete. And as I speak to you now, they have not finished the project. And they told us that if they are going to finish at all, it's going to be somewhere in 2020. And they started in 2015. They were supposed to finish this project in 2018.
Let's slow it down. Kumawu, what was left to be done?
Well, if you go to Kumawu, there were a lot of the structures that were not completed.
Specifically, which structures?
They were not roofed.
Units.
Yes.
Specific units.
Because we couldn't get anybody to take us round to tell us this is OPD, this is children's ward, this is what and what and what. So we saw the structures, but because it's not completed, you cannot assume that this one will be the administration, this one will be children's ward. Exactly. And so...
But you were convinced that this was really the hospital and not any other structure?
In fact, we were led by the chiefs of the town to the site. Of course. And at Formina, we were also led by the chiefs. Anywhere we went, we had a derby of chiefs. They welcomed us before they lead us to the site. So it's not as if we went and looked for some structures and then started roaming about. No.
I get you. Now I understand the point now. Now, is it the same with Formina? You talked about 90% completion, but it's been taken over by weights. Let me get this clear. Are these projects you knew of their status before going to check out the status for yourself, or you did not know of their status before you went there?
In fact, as I indicated earlier on, I've heard a lot about it. I've inquired a lot. I've spoken to some formal appointees about those projects, and then we had to go to the grounds to find out the current status. Okay.
So Kumawu, Adanse, Formina, Tepa, all in the Ashanti region?
Yes, then we came to Greater Accra.
Oh, Greater Accra.
We proceeded to the University of Ghana Medical Center.
Okay.
Then we also went to the Bank of Ghana Hospital.
The UGMC, what was its status?
Well, the University of Ghana Medical Center, I think that the first phase
was open, right?
It was open. It's operating below 10%. So we had 10%. We had the opportunity to engage with the management. We had a closed door meeting before they took us around. We saw some kind of installation, and you see, the infrastructure comes with the installation of the equipment. You understand? And so we could see that everything was well fitted, but yet it was performing or operating below capacity.
What did they say was the problem with the Legon Hospital?
Well, they spoke about delays.
Delays in That's interesting. The clearance for the health workers was also a big problem.
Yes.
And you also mentioned maintenance, right?
Yes.
As one of the main issues that's bedeviling
during our discussions.
Full-term operation of
some of the things that came.
Is this also behind time? When were we expecting the second phase to start? The University of Ghana Medical Center.
Well, somewhere in 2000, I was not on the committee then, but if I remember very well, we have approved a loan of about $15 million to do the phase 2.
So why hadn't it started?
Well, unless the minister. Okay. And you see, the most interesting aspect of it was that, and that is where my problem comes from.
Okay.
You know, you are given a mandate of 4 years. Okay, you are in your 3rd year. For me, you can't have any excuse to, justify this huge neglect.
Let's take it one by one. The Kumawu District Hospital, when was it supposed to be completed?
Kumawu District Hospital was supposed to be completed in 2018.
2018?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Is there a month you have in mind?
No, I know that I can't.
Okay. How about the Tepa one?
The Tepa one was supposed to also be completed, I think, between 2017 and 2018.
Okay, between 2017 and 18.
Yeah.
Okay. The last one that's of interest to us is the Adanse Formina one. When was the expected date of completion?
I think that one too was around 2017.
You don't know that for a fact?
Well, I am being very careful because, you see, after the time we got there and the kind of explanation and what we saw there, if a project in 2016 is about 85% complete, then what are you waiting for? 15%? How many years? 2 years. So your guess is as good as mine.
Now, for the TEPA, the earlier indication was that we expected it to be completed January 2019, rather. And,
no, that was the second, let me give you this explanation. When this government took over, in fact, the contractor got some waiver in 2016.
Okay.
And so when this government took over, they said they had changed their policy towards the waiver. Okay. And therefore, there was a delay of about 9 to 10 months. Okay. And so the first date they gave was that they were going to complete it in 2019. But now, as I speak to you now, when we had engagement with the consultant, he said it's 2020.
What? That's the first date he gave you?
Yes.
Were there any projects that were started during the time of the NDC that had not been completed?
That was started?
During the time of the NDC that had not been completed?
All the projects we are talking about were started during the time of NDC and they have not been completed. All the ones we are talking about.
Brilliant. So they were expected to be completed by the NPP or before the NPP came in?
Some, yeah. Because Dodoa, for example, was completed and handed over in 2016.
The Kumasi Regional Hospital, did you check it out?
No, we didn't go there. That's the military. You're talking about the military hospital.
Yes.
We didn't go there. Yeah.
Why? I thought it was a very important project you're interested in.
Of course, but you see, we pick it one at a time, and we.
But you were in the Ashanti region.
Of course, but we couldn't get the time to roam every part of Ashanti region. We selected some, health facilities. Yeah.
So, what was your conclusion from visiting these sites?
I think that we must put these facilities to good use. The people of Ghana must benefit from this massive investment in the health sector. If you recall, some few years ago, if we talk about some of the difficulties in the health sector, you'll be talking about access to health facility. And now, if we had completed these facilities, we would be adding about 6,000 beds to
all put together.
Because in 2000, polyclinics alone between 2012 to 2016, they added about 20 of them, about 10 in the central region. You understand? This were massive investment in the health sector. And therefore, I think that governance is a process, not an event. Okay. And so this government was supposed to continue with the projects that he inherited so that we can get full benefit of these projects. But unfortunately, it's been stalled. And I think that the earlier we all put our heads together for these projects to be completed and then we get the full benefit of it, the better.
What's the intent? Do you intend putting together a report and submitting
that report? Yeah. We intend putting up, we're going to use all the tools available at our disposal. We are going to put up a report. We are going to think about press conferences. We are going to think about statements on the floor of the House. We are going to think about inviting the minister to appear before the floor, whether on the floor or at the committee level, to ask him questions.
But have you directed these concerns to the minister?
Fact findings. We must go to the grounds, see for ourselves what is on the ground, understand it before you invite the minister.
The expectation would have been that he would explain to you what the problem is with all of this.
We've heard these things over and over again. So sometimes on the radio, on TV, let me give you a typical example. Okay. When we went to Kumawu, for example, he said the minister came there about 4 or 5 months ago, and he gave them 3 weeks that the workers, the contractor was going to come to site to begin. You understand? When we went to Fomena, he said that the last time he came there, he gave them 2 weeks that contractors were going to come to site. You understand? So as for these stories, that is why we wanted to go there and see for ourselves, for all you know.
And you're convinced that government has devoted enough money for all of these projects to commence and be completed?
What I'm interested in is that once you have inherited these projects, wherever you have, whatever and however you can get money to complete this project, you have to do it.
But you approve appropriations.
Yeah.
So the question I'm asking you is that, is there enough resource for them to complete these projects through the appropriations you approved?
You see, there are projects that sometimes you must undertake through bonds, issuance of bonds, sometimes through loans. Okay.
Yes.
Let me give you.
Parliament actually approved the loans too.
Of course.
So the question I'm asking is, have you given them enough money to finish this project?
This project, especially the NMS ones, was $175 million put together projects. And from the minister himself, as at the time he took office, there was not less than, I think, 38 to 40 million US dollars sitting down there. So the issue of money doesn't come in. There was money available.
I see.
Yes, I have engaged him on one of your sister radio stations. He was on the line and I was on the line. And he stated that, though he stated that the money was not enough, but there was money. What that $38 million.
So the minister said there was no money, and yet you are insisting there was money.
I'm saying that he said the money was not enough.
Okay.
And that he said that the money was about 38 million US dollars. And I'm saying to you that what $38 million could have done in 2017, 38 million you cannot do today. And so for me, there was money. And even if there was no money, should I be the one to go around looking for money? Government must do that. 3 years into government, must look for money to face. We are talking about health facilities.
What did the people say when you spoke to them about these health facilities and the status they find themselves in?
Which people?
I'm saying the people in the various communities.
They were, in fact, I mean, they have lost confidence in governance, and they have no hope now. And the people kept telling us that, look, we have said it over and over and over again, and all they know is that they'll come here, especially when we're having festivals, they'll come here and promise us and all that. But yet, the facilities have not been completed, and those that are near completion too have been abandoned entirely.
Give me a second. Let me go to the phone lines. Let me speak to the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, and Dr. Insiasa joins us on the phone line now. Doc, you're welcome to Upfront.
Thank you, Raymond.
I hope you are doing well this evening.
I'm doing very well.
First, I want your preliminary comments on the fact-finding mission by those who are supposed to oversight your government in this particular case. Do you think it's an act in good faith?
I don't know any fact-finding mission by those who are supposed to have an oversight over our ministry or our sector.
I see.
I know the oversight committee is the Parliamentary Select Committee of Health. And I haven't heard or haven't seen them going around of any time this week or last week.
I see, but the minority section of that particular committee is the one that's on this journey.
Yeah, so maybe it's the minority MPs who are members of Select Committee on Health. Maybe you have to put that one in perspective.
I get you.
Who went around to have a look. It is their right. It's good. We in the ministry and the health sector accept anybody who goes around to monitor the work that we are doing and then tell us maybe if there's any problem. We are a listening health sector. So anything anybody tells us, we will listen to it and then see the way forward.
Now, specific projects have come up. They say that when they went to Kumawu, the district hospital was about 65% complete and was supposed to have been completed in 2018. In Adanse Fomena, it was 90% complete, but basically taken over by weeds. That means virtually abandoned. In Tepa, the hospital they looked at was 80% complete as of 2016. And by the changes made to it, we're expecting final completion by 2018. We are in September 2019. At least for these three projects, what are the basic hindrances preventing the people in these communities from accessing them?
What is the third sector that they went to?
Tepa.
Did you hear that?
Tepa.
Kita.
Tepa. In the Ashanti region, yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm happy that they went there and said that it is, Formana is about 90% complete. Kumawu is about 50% complete.
65.
55. And Tepa is 80% complete.
Yeah.
We should ask, when was Tepa supposed to have finished? When was Kumawu supposed to have been finished? When Formana was supposed to have been finished? Formana and Kumawu are the NMS, a UKF-funded project.
Yeah.
We started that in 2012. It was supposed to be for a period of 3 years, maximum 4 years. So if it started in 2012, you remember that the only one of them which was finished, there were 7 projects, the NMS UKF-funded project. The only one which was finished in 2016, maybe at the completion period, was only Dodowa. That time MPP was not a government. So the question that I would throw back to them, what happened? Why Formana, Kumawu, Abitifi, Karotimpani, Takoradi European Hospital, and Kasarado is Sekendi. Why were they not completed? Only one was completed. That's a question maybe they have to answer. 2, when we came in 2000, I understand that in September or so 2016, the ministry wrote to the Ministry of Finance. That time, the minority who went around were in power. They wrote to the Ministry of Finance that the LC, that's the letter of credit, which UKF gave so that they can draw, the contractor can draw when they finish it work, was expiring. They look on and waited for the letter of credit expired. So after the election, when power was changed, hands, and then we came to power in January 2017, they asked the contractor to go back in December, immediately after the election. When we came in, we look at the work done, look at the money left, and the Minister of Finance decided that they have to look, because there are about 7 projects. The money, I think, was about 177 million. More than about 70% of the money has been used. So they wanted to conduct forensic audit, which they did, and which they finished. We sat down with the contractors and realized that the money left can be used to finish 3 of the projects. So when they went on Monday, they knew there was a latest round that the contractor, the Minister of Health, Minister of Finance, our architects and quantity surveyors from Ministry of Finance and Health, plus the contractors, quantity surveyors, were going to go around this week. In fact, as I speak, they were in Kumawu, where they went there on Monday. They went there on Tuesday. And then they went to Formana yesterday. Today they went to Takoradi. These are the 3 projects that has been agreed that they have to finish it as quickly as possible. And then make sure that maybe the other 3 projects left, we repackage it and ask UKF for further funding, and they will finish that one. So we, in the health sector, plus Minister of Finance, are very, very serious that we want to finish the project as quickly as possible. Formana can be finished when we start work. It's just the equipment that we are putting in, and then we paint, clear the roads and make the roads more travel, and the hospital will be ready for commission. Kumawu, I'm sure by the first quarter or so of next year, Kumawu also can be finished. All the workers at the 3 sites, in fact, Takoradi is accommodation that they are adding. What I've heard that is only the wiring and the painting which is left. So all these projects will be finished as quickly as possible. I quite agree. If I'm the chief or a resident in these areas, I want to see these projects finished as quickly as possible. So I don't have any qualms about what the residents are saying. But the most important thing is that we have said that we want to finish this project and let the good people of this country have return on investment. I'll then go to TEPA project, and I'll repeat here. And when His Excellency the President commissioned the first of those Eurojet projects, Eurojet is a contractor, and they look for the funding. They are from Egypt. The funding started. The first MOU was signed in April 2008 during the President Kufuor's time. It went through cabinet for cabinet approval in October 2008, and finally got parliamentary approval in November 2008. And then after the election, the government changed, and like we do in Ghana here properly, we changed the democratic system, and it doesn't mean projects should stop. And I know that there was some problem that time of the Arab Springs and the rest. So the project delayed till 2012, when the first sword cutting was done in Wa. So from 2012, sword cutting was done in Wa, and the project started. And we know that they were supposed to give some waivers for customs and then the VAT and the rest, so that equipment and other materials can come. It's part of the contract. Those waivers were never given. That's the reason why when WA was almost about 90% or so complete, they couldn't finish. If you remember, all these projects were in the Green Book, were painted as if the hospitals were running. So they couldn't finish until recently, about a month or so ago, when His Excellency the President went and commissioned it. And when he commissioned it, he told the story. He told the history of the place. It has passed through President Kufuor, who initiated the funding, through late President Akandoh, through President Mahama, former President Mahama, and then the sitting president has commissioned it. And he made a story out of it. Look, this shows to the foreign investors that Ghana, you can invest your money, and it doesn't matter which government is in power. That to me is the beauty of it. These are 2 regional hospitals and 6 district hospitals. And then also the military hospital, 500 bed military hospital at in Ashanti region. The contractor said now he has everything in place. He has all the necessary waivers, and all the equipment are in country, and he has imported all the things in. So Kwabenya, which is the next hospital, will be handed over and commissioned next month. The same way we are going to also Tepa, which is about 80% complete. When they went there, there were contractors there working. I don't think when they went there was nobody there. There are contractors working in
forgive
Tepa.
me, let me get that particular point endorsed or disagreed with. The Honorable Commander Mintah Akandoh, were there contractors
I
at
indicated
Tepa?
when we were speaking, so it doesn't need any endorsement. Again,
No, sorry. Were there contractors on the site?
I even spoke to the consultant at site.
Okay.
So they were consultant and there were contractors at site.
And they endorsed the 80%.
Yeah.
But
So I spoke to them.
Honorable, specifically,
you have
I want to be clear in my mind on this one. When are we finishing Tepa?
Are you asking me or you're asking?
No, you, yes.
Yeah, Tepa, as he said, when he went there were contractors on site. They are fixing the equipment. True or false?
Yeah, he agrees that that's what's happening.
So Tepa will be finished in the latest by the first quarter of next year. Because that is the timeline that the contractor has given to us. And he said in front of everybody in WA that the last hospital will be handed over and commissioned in October 2020. So there's a series of commissions which is going to happen. The next immediate one will be Kwabenya in the East.
And you said that's happening next month?
That's happening next month.
October. Is there a date set for it?
We haven't fixed a date yet because they are doing the routes. It's now the route network. I've gone there, gone on rounds. All the equipment are in place. All the beds are fixed. The theaters are all fixed and painted and ready for commissioning. The Ministry of Roads has given the go-ahead. Contractor is on the road, constructing the road from the main road to where the hospital is. I don't know if you know where the hospital is. The hospital is, if you are at the atomic area in Kwabenya, there's a bypass where you pass about half a kilometer to the place.
I get you.
Doing the roads and everything.
So the assurance is that next month, October, by all means, we will have that particular Kwabenya hospital commissioned, fully operational.
God willing.
That sounds like you're not so sure.
I'm sure. The hospital is complete. Everything is in. They are constructing the road and the hospital will be commissioned.
Yeah.
It depends on the timing that everybody the person who is going to commission the hospital has. But the arrangement is that the hospital will be commissioned in October.
I get you. Now, how about Kumau? Did I get you saying that the first quarter of next year, just like the Tepa Hospital, it will equally be ready for use?
Hopefully, because tomorrow, when they come back from Takoradi, they are coming to sit down for the 3 groups which went, go through the list, go through what is left to be done, the deterioration which has happened at those places, and how much money they need to do it, and how much money is there. And then they bring the workers and they start it. We met them. When we met the contractors, they said that they have engaged and activated all their workers. They have about 1,500 workers on both on the 2 sides, and they are bringing them all together, fix the equipment in Fomana, do the painting, do the cleaning and everything. And then the workers who are in Fomana will also join the workers who are in Kumau. to go very quickly and finish the project.
Okay.
We've given them strong timelines, and I'm sure they will abide by it.
I get your point. So the Formina particular timeline was what?
Formina, as I said, the work left there. I'm sure when they went there, they saw it. The work left in Formina is fixing the equipment. And we believe that one could be done before even the end of the year. Do every cleaning, do the roads, and then we are there and we can commission it.
Is there a specific month that you think this would happen? Because from now to the end of it's almost like 3 months down the line.
Raymond, this construction work, I cannot give you a particular date on the 15th of this month or this thing. But what I can tell you is that the work left in Formana is about 3 months period work to be done.
Okay. So by the end of the year, it should be done?
Hopefully. And by the end of the year, the work should be completed and the date for commissioning will be fixed.
And it's not possible. It's not possible. There's not going to be any other reasons given for not being able to complete it as discussed this night.
I don't believe so. Some of us, when we sleep, we think about Formana. When we sleep, we think about Kumawu. When I sleep, I think about all the Eurojet projects. I will be the happiest person to see all these hospital projects completed, and then we have hospital for the good people of this country to use. So it's not anybody's mind or anybody's intention that let's leave the hospital to rot. That is not the case. And you all know that when His Excellency the President commissioned one right now, so he made that one very clear to the people of this country.
Now, please give me a second. If you can hold the line for me, I want brief reactions on the specific timelines has given Honorable. Specifically, it talks about the first quarter for both Tepa and Kumewu, and we'll be told that as far as from now, by the end of the year, we'll be done with it. Next month is Kwabenya. It looks like some of the projects we visited, there's progressive work that's going to be done pretty soon on them.
You see, it's unfortunate sometimes when we expect some people to give us technical explanations and we keep hearing political explanations like your green book, like when we came to power and all that. It's very unfortunate. You see, if we are all aware of the level of progress at the various health facilities, why now? He clearly admitted that in Adanse from now, for example, what is left is less than 15%, and that could be done in few months. They have been in power for almost 3 years. Why have they delayed up to this point?
But he explained the difficulty.
What difficulty?
You got it,
for 3 years? For 3 years? For example, he mentioned forensic audit. Who tells you that forensic audit cannot be going on whilst people are on site working? Who tells you that? Couldn't they have conducted forensic whilst people were on site? When we went to Tepa, we asked the consultant, have they conducted forensic? He said yes. Why are they on site working? Why are they there working? And you see, the percentage as stated at Tepa, for example, we specifically asked the consultant, the work was at the 80% completion as of 2016.
Oh, not now.
Not as of 2016. And the Formula one he's talking about, it's not as though when they came to power, they've added a block to it. It is as where they inherited it. And it has been taken over by weeds entirely. So they have not done anything. That is the state of the abandoned health facilities.
Give me a second. The Honorable Director General of the Ghana Health Service, the charge from the Member of Parliament is that the evidence they saw was that these facilities, except for the one that there were some workers still on the ground, had been abandoned
entirely. Nobody at site.
And nobody was at the site.
That's the issue.
But for one of these facilities, except Tepa, all of them were abandoned completely.
Let me tell the honorable member that in December, and I think I said it at the beginning, in December after the election, they didn't renew the contract. They didn't renew the LC, the letter of credit. They asked the contractor to come away.
They didn't.
So if the contractor is not there, how can the contractor be on site?
So this is an admission that indeed, forgive me.
For Formana,
yes.
And two, Tepa, he said that since 2016, their workers are on site and they still 80%. I don't know who told him that. I don't know which consultant he's talking about.
He spoke to the consultant on the ground.
And you and I were not there.
When we're talking,
so he's telling you what he has the contract. I've been to Tepa.
Videos.
I was in Tepa recently. Tepa, is progressing. So how can something which is progressing, workers are on site, still be since 2016 will be 80%, and we haven't added anything.
So as we speak,
I mean, you see the logic that I'm trying to bring out.
I get you, but
they are contractors on site. And then he's telling you that, I'm coming. He's telling you that since 2016, nothing has been added to the plan. I quite agree that Kumawu and Fomana, they send the contractor away after the election.
And the contractor has not been replaced or asked to come back.
The letter of credit was not renewed. Now we are calling the contractor to come back.
Now we are calling them to come back.
Yeah. The work that we wanted to do, they will finish and want the contractors, they have sat down with the contractors, and they have to come back. And that's the reason why they are in town to assess what is there, what has been yet to be done, and then work will go on.
So what is that? Exactly what were we doing in the last 2 or 3 years that we had to wait till now to call them back?
Asking also exactly what have they been doing over when they were in 8 years in power and the 11 years in power when they left Confanachi Maternity and Children's Block to be there.
You can even do more politics than the minister.
If you have gone to Confanachi to go and have a look at the Maternity and Children's Block.
The question I'm asking you is very direct. I'm asking, you said that they sent away the contractors on this site. I'm asking, why did it take us this long since 2016 or 2017 when the government you serve as its Director General took over for us to make sure that we return or ask new contractors to take over?
Yeah, it's because the amount of money which was supposed to do the 7 projects, the money, about 70% of the money was used when only one project was delivered. That's the reason why the Ministry of Finance wanted to do forensic audit to find out what happened.
Have they gotten new money now?
So we've gotten the money now?
We finished the forensic audit, and we have packaged the money which is left to finish what it can be used to finish.
So where did we get the money?
The money which is left for the loan, which is there now, it's being repackaged to finish the project. The 2 projects plus the Takoradi project.
So there was money already there?
Yeah, it's a loan.
Yes.
You draw on the loan. When the LC is not active, you cannot draw on the loan. And the LC expired in 2016 September.
Okay.
It was never renewed.
All right. So
and that's the process that we are going through.
It took us almost 2.5 years to get an LC to be able to get the rest of the loan.
And also to do a forensic audit.
What prevented us from...
audit?
Yeah, okay, yes, I get you. You said that without a forensic audit, yes, you are speaking, please.
Yeah.
And we couldn't have done anything about these projects without the forensic audit.
That one, I will not be the right person to answer the question.
Could we have...
Ministry of Finance wants to do forensic audit.
Okay. Could we have
and then we are moving on. Raymond, the most important is that we are moving on to finish the project as quickly as possible.
Okay, so now I get your point. There are new deadlines. Let's look into the future. There are new deadlines.
You see, we cannot do this to ourselves.
Sorry, Honorable.
Let's discuss the issue.
I want us to move forward.
No problem. We'll move forward. But let's discuss the
Honorable
issues now.
Dr. Siasa, just give me a second. I want brief reaction from in studio here so that I can get your final words. Please go ahead.
You see, I mean, he keeps contradicting himself. You see,
specifically, what's the claim here?
When you, at one breath, you talk about there was no money to do it, and they should ask me questions, and you come back to say that we are now packaging it, and then they ask you, can you please allow me? Can you please allow me?
Dr. Siasa, I would be pleased if you allow him to make a brief point so that I can come back to you.
And on another breath, they say, oh, we have repackaged it as if they've gone to look for new funding somewhere, and then you ask him, oh, there was money there, and they say money. Why couldn't they repackage?
But is it true that the LCs expired in 2016? Is it true?
My brother, I have already indicated to you that as at the time, even from his own statement and the statement from the minister, that as at the time they inherited the project, there was not less than about 38 million Ghana dollars lying down.
Could the money have been accessed and used without the LCs?
Why not? Even if there was any procedure or any processes, the government was in place. Couldn't you have accessed the funds? And you see, he keeps referring to WA and all those. My brother, you can call your reps at WA and find out.
Why
immediately after commissioning, that particular day, the place was closed down, and I'm putting it to him. Director General.
Is it operational today?
It is not, but it has been commissioned. I'm putting it to Director General. This is what we are talking about.
Okay, give me a second. Now, Dr. Siasari, so what's the status of the WA hospital now?
You see, unfortunately, the honorable member doesn't even know how hospital commission, when hospital starts working. You commission a hospital, you don't move in the following day. You commission a hospital, you finish whatever you are supposed to finish, and then you do what you call user training.
Okay.
Next week, we are starting user training in WA. So you should know the processes that hospitals, when we finish hospital,
refresh our
when
memory.
we start working it.
Refresh our memory. When was this hospital commissioned?
So the hospital was commissioned about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
We are moving into the hospital. We have all the staff, and they are going to do user training, and then the hospital starts running.
Okay.
So if he doesn't know, I'm telling him that's how hospitals are started, and that's how hospitals run.
When is the hospital going to run?
He doesn't know. We are starting the user training from the 23rd of September.
When is the hospital going to run?
From 23rd of September, we start the user training, and the workers will be there, and the hospital starts running.
So
if he doesn't know,
he's interested.
I'm telling him.
I don't know. That's why he's interested.
If he doesn't know, I'm telling him.
Okay.
So you don't open the hospital today, and tomorrow you are in there working. You go through a process.
They do the user training.
You go through a process of handing over, and that's what the contractors are doing.
Yes,
so you shouldn't say that the hospitals are locked the following day. I know that they had a press conference.
Yeah.
And we're talking about that, and I was a bit surprised. I was a bit surprised that they were saying that. So if they want to know exactly what the program and the process is, they should come and tell us first, and we shall tell them.
All right.
So that's the case.
I get you.
So please.
One last point.
I want to make a point.
Please do.
I never said there was no money. Never throughout my interview with you.
Okay.
I said
what
that
were they waiting for?
the letter of credit, you asked the question. The letter of credit was not there. And you said that you can draw on it. It's not true. You need a letter of credit to draw. The letter of credit expired in September 2016.
And now we have it.
Now we have applied for the letter of credit.
So why didn't they apply then?
And before we do that, we have to package, and then that's what we are doing. So if you say it's
how long is it going to take us? Sorry, how long is it going to take us to get this letter of credit?
The process is not a long period. The UKF have to approve and agree, and the letter of credit will be given. You see, he is behaving as if he came and there's nothing. What surprises me is that when they were passing to Fomena, they should also have looked at the coin. They should have looked at the coin because he was visiting all the projects, hospital projects. Why did they choose and pick? And then normally, when you are doing this thing, you go together as a group of parliamentary select committee,
my friend,
both minority and majority side. So you can call the parliamentary committee on health to ask if they went with them. So I don't blame him, and I think it's politics that everybody is doing.
Okay.
So they want to see if they can take advantage of that, and that's exactly what my honorable friend is doing. But I want to assure him that we will continue doing what we are doing.
I have a final question.
That they are forcing us to do that, but I will say that we are a listening government. We listen.
For 3 years.
So we will always continue to listen to whatever they will tell us, and we'll do the right thing.
I have a final question. It's about the Legon University of Ghana Medical Center. When are we going to have the phase 2 started and completed?
The phase 2, I know, and maybe the minister will be the right person to answer that question. They are packaging it, and they need further financing to do that.
All right. And is it true that it's still operating under 10% as we speak?
I know that there's a chief executive there. There's an interim committee in place. I'm not aware of it. I can't tell you offhand what percentage usage that they are doing, if it's 10% or 50% or 50%. I cannot, if I say anything that make it apply.
I'm grateful to you.
I'll find out, and maybe
very well
when we have a next interview, I can tell you all this.
Very well. And I'm grateful to you, Dr. Nsiasari, for joining us tonight. Dr.
Raymond, Thank you very much.
Dr. Anthony Siasari is the Director General of the Ghana Health Service. He joined us with some answers to the issues that the fact-finding mission of the minority side on the Select Committee of Parliament's Health Grouping specifically found. The details have been given.
Raymond,
yes.
Unfortunately, although he spoke, but he didn't say anything. Unfortunately.
You got timelines.
Unfortunately, he didn't say anything. He came to do pure politics. In fact, he indicated that we are doing politics. I thought that as a Director General, you should be giving us some technical explanations and insight to the project rather than the kind of propaganda or the politics he was doing. Raymond, you know, even if it is politics at all, we started those projects. Okay? Even if it is politics at all, we started those projects, and at the levels that they are now, we left them there. So
Currently.
Currently.
So you see there is no
improvement. He couldn't answer that apart from TEPA. And TEPA, what I was going to tell you is that after the time we went there, it was about, get these figures right. After the time we went there, it was about 85% complete. TEPA. After the time, that is about 2 days ago. But when we engaged the consultant, as of 2016, it was 80% complete.
So 5% improvement.
Exactly. For 3 years. Meanwhile, the project was started in 2015. So from 2015 to 2016, 80%. From 2000, that is 1 year. From 2016 to 2019, 5%. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
I see.
So for me, nothing, absolutely nothing can actually justify this huge neglect. In any attempt to do that, you disgrace yourself. You saw the incoherent nature of his submission. I mean, he was contradicting himself all over. And for me, what is important at this point in time, what is important is that they must get to site, they must get the people to site to complete those projects so that we get full advantage of those projects, because people are dying in those catchment areas. They don't have proper health facilities, and that is what we are seeking to do, whatever it takes. You ask him some questions and he says, no, I will not be able to answer unless the minister and all that. I thought that when he came, he will remain his jurisdiction. He is then coming to determine which kind of team or what we should have done. He should remain at his level.
But is that an explanation why you didn't go to Bekwai?
Oh, well, you rightly even indicated, you asked me why I couldn't go to Kumasi military, and I said we couldn't have picked all the facilities. We have phase 1, phase 2, and then we'll be going in that.
I see. So you go to Bekwai in the nearest future?
Well, we are yet to determine the phase 2, and if we have to go to Bekwai, in any case, we started Bekwai. Why can't we go to Bekwai? When we went to Tepa, there were people on site. I've indicated so. So what is it?
What we need, but he was seeking to establish that there's some form of lack of, if you like, goodwill in your quest.
What kind of goodwill?
And that you are pursuing pure propaganda in this particular place.
Let's get this
and that all that you sought to paint was to say that government has not completed this. Government is insensitive to your...
Raymond, be sincere to yourself. Yes. If you have an opposition, okay, that has given you honeymoon from about almost 3 years.
Oh, there's honeymoon.
It's honeymoon.
You have not been operating clearly.
I mean, and then
I'm not sure do I agree with giving them honeymoon after this.
And then now,
yes.
Today, almost 3 years, we are going to check these things, and you are telling us what? It's not as if you came to power last week and said, "Oh, give me time to do." How many years or how many days, months does it take? I mean, to raise LC or whatever. So it was a pure neglect. It was incompetence. And it was wickedness, pure wickedness. Because if you go, he himself,
even despite the explanations he gave,
he himself indicated that there was some kind of deterioration. You heard him.
Yeah.
There was some kind of deterioration. It means that the money you need now to go and continue those projects will definitely go high.
So is that
why this harm?
Is there a reason why in 2016 we didn't renew the LCs?
My brother,
I'm asking.
I was on that. Well, you see, when I'm doing my presentation,
but you said you've spoken to some people.
Of course.
When
I'm doing my presentation, I do not want to be seen as if I am defending somebody.
Yeah,
no,
but you're an NDC MP. Beyond all of this is a quest for your party to win political power. We can't hide that. So if I ask you a question about what happened during your tenure, I expect that you said you consulted people, some answers in that direction.
You see, sometimes when they ask you a specific question, and then you begin to go that direction, if you are not very careful, you throw the substantive issue away. So,
but I can tell you, do you know the answer to the question?
Raymond, what I can tell you is that now they have been able to renew the LC, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what they say.
So why didn't they do it in 2000? I mean, those about 2 2.5 years ago.
Finally, what are you going to do with the findings when it comes to parliamentary work? Are you going to raise it on the floor anytime soon?
You see, I've already indicated to you that we'll use all the tools available to us. Statements, questions, okay?
Yeah.
We can
but it looks like you've gotten all the explanations. What's the need to do all the things you have to do?
Which explanations? I've told you that they've said these things before. I've told you. They've said all those things before.
So when you raise a question, what will be the impact of it?
Well, you see, don't forget that at the end of the day, we are accountable to the good people of this country.
Yes, ultimately. But so you are on live TV today.
Yes. You see?
You're on live
That's
TV
what I'm saying.
Today.
So the good people of this country must know what is going on. Okay? So now you ask him some questions and he says, unless the minister himself.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So let the minister appear on the floor of the house so that he will answer all the questions for everybody to hear. And we have those those answers on records. Today, they are changing their positions all over because we don't have those issues on record.
I see. Now, let me finally ask you about a job you used to do in times past. It's about the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry.
Oh, is that so? Okay.
Yes. Before we wrap up this conversation, the minister says that 85% of the Galamsey mess has been cleared.
He's taking himself and laughing. You see, I
need contrary evidence. What are you saying? Where is the Galamsey still happening today?
Let me tell you, I've had the opportunity to serve in that ministry before. And I kept telling them when they set up this interministerial task force, I told them that Galamsey was still going on. I told them some undercover journalists came to expose what was going on. Every radio station that called me, I told them, look, the Galamsey that was going on at the time was to the effect that the common people, the ordinary people in the society, they couldn't do that Galamsey. But the Chinese, the foreigners who had money to pay to people were then doing the Galamsey. Raymond, read my lips and look into my face. I am telling you that pick your cameras and I can even lead you, me. I can lead you to some places.
To which place?
Look, if you go to Jaboso now, Jaboso and Mbodi constituencies, there are some cocoa farms that, a surface mining is going on.
Currently,
as I speak. You see?
Have you reported the matter?
I've spoken about it everywhere.
As member of parliament, have you reported the matter?
And now, you know what they are doing? Raymond, listen to me.
I asked a direct question. Have you reported this matter?
In fact, in some instances, I lead police team myself to some of these places.
And yet it's not solved?
I'm saying that now, as I speak to you now, you know what they are doing? And they think sometimes they think they are smart and they can outsmart everybody. You know what they are doing in Galamsey? They are putting the MPP people together and making it official, and they are giving it a name. That's what they are doing because there are only two.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm saying that they call something, they say community mining.
Okay.
There are only two types of mining. We have the small scale mining, okay, and we have the large scale mining.
Yeah.
There's nothing like community mining. What they are doing now is that they are putting their MPP people together and doing Galamsey.
The same thing.
That is what it is.
Where is this happening? Why is this happening?
You have to go and ask them.
Where is this happening? You are saying that's what they are doing.
You say where?
Where?
Oh, when you come to, I will use my constituency as an example. When you go to some of the districts, like Jaboso district, what they are doing is that now.
Where in Jaboso specifically? Where? I want specifics so that I can hold people accountable for it.
Raymond.
Where in Jaboso?
I'm saying that, and you see,
I want specifics. Sorry, I want specifics. You have alleged that they are still doing something that's not supposed to be right. I'm asking you for specifics. Where in Jaboso are they doing this particular act?
In Jaboso, what is happening now is that
Honorable, I want a place.
Let me tell you what they are doing. No. I'm telling you what they are doing.
I understand what you're doing.
You yourself,
I'm
mark
sorry.
it on the wall. You run back and tell me that this is what you said.
My time is running out. I just want
Raymond,
specifically.
I am saying that
within your constituency, where is this happening?
I'm saying that they are compiling lists of community mining people now, as I speak to you now. Now.
Sorry, I'm still interested in the claim that they are formed community mining.
That is what they are forming.
They are formed or they are forming?
They are forming. In some places, they are working.
Okay, so where are they working specifically?
Raymond, I am saying that you ran back to me. In those days when we said that Galamsey was going on,
you are diverting the matter.
Interministerial forces, interministerial task force were taking bribes. You didn't
I have a responsibility to hold you to street proof.
For me, I am saying that in some where I know they are forming, and in some other places, the information I have.
We keep repeating this point, but you don't tell me specifically where this is happening.
Raymond,
are you shielding the people? Are you shielding them?
Why am I shielding them?
Then state specifically where this is happening.
You see, if you go to some of the mining communities,
you are just making generalized statements. I want specifics.
Raymond, I'm saying that
Sorry, the next Raymond you say should come with specifics. Honorable, do you have specifics on this one?
I have specifically mentioned my constituency that they are putting people, and you see what we are talking about. Don't forget that Ghanaians are looking at.
It's a big place. With the greatest of respect, I'm saying that within your constituency,
Ghanaians are
which area are you talking about?
Nobody can even come and deny what I'm saying on your platform, that they are not putting people up for community mining. Nobody can deny it.
The Honorable Mintah Akandoh.
Yes, sir, Raymond.
Former Deputy Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, and Member of Parliament for Joabo. So thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much, Dr. Isiansai, Director General of the Ghana Health Service, for joining us today. Folks, that's where we end today's edition of Upfront.